For me personally, when I realized that they don't really send me, initially I used to get attention. Like I was seen as African bad girl, and you know sometimes, and I'm gonna be honest, I liked it in the beginning. Like I liked them saying, we want them to establish to come, and you know I used to be like, me okay. And I think I played into that. So I never used to get attention, that kind of attention, or being called beautiful or sexy or whatever. Honestly, I never got that. So when I got to Nigeria and my whole brand changed and I was getting that kind of attention, I was loving it. But it now got to the point where they wanted that more than my music. And I got to the point that if I don't go and see this chairman personally, I will not be put on the show. I actually lost endorsements because I refused to go to Dubai with one of the owners of the company. And that's when it started hitting me that, they don't send my talents. It's the other thing, which I thought was, you know, part of the branding. It was gonna, you know, help along. And it ended up hurting me at the end of the day because that's all they were seeing. Another part where I think they don't rate us is the exercise where I just asked Shopper to do.
Results, please.
So as of today, out of 100 songs in Nigeria, 100 songs in Nigeria, this is just one platform, and this is a big platform. Forget that it's rigged and there's stream farming, whatever, but out of 100 songs, please, Adeshope, how many female songs are in 100 songs? One.
What?
That's like 1%, right?
Wow.
And and females consume music more than men. Females buy merchandise more than men. Female artists idolize stars more than men. But we are represented as 1%. It is. It's 1%. Of 100 is 1. Yeah, 1%. What are we doing? We're killing dreams, guys. This isn't just about this panel. 1% as of today. How do you want us to survive? With a male feature. It's a song that's even featured with a male. What are we doing? It's a collaboration. I don't want, it's not my mouth to hear the song, but it's one song. To me, that's a sad reality. That's a sad reality.
I have a question. So putting that in, you know, like in context, right? What would you say? And this is, my question is open to you guys on the panel and also to the music executives here, because it's one thing to be here to speak of our experiences, but it's another thing for us to really learn, because it's really about changing the narrative and going out with something tangible that we can say, okay, this is something we're going to work on. Why? Is it the song? Is it that we don't have the capacity to push it enough? Is it the song? Because are we doing something wrong with the music? Are we doing something wrong in the way we push in terms of our team? Is there something that, because yeah, we are the faces of our brands, but we have a team that we work with.
But Tani said it, as a creative, you can't be wrong. You are the art.
Right.
It's not wrong. We are the creators. It's the machine. Yes, we need to find the machine. I actually really want to ask Doug Jazzy, because he is a big machine and he didn't want me to do this, but I told him I was going to do this. You signed female artists. Why do you keep signing female artists when we seem unbankable?
The question you asked is simple. For me, I don't look at it first. It's not like I don't know that, okay, there's the bias of male and female artists, but then I don't see it like that first. First, I just see a talented person. I just see somebody that is an artist, I would like to work with this person. I, I don't know, that's what I see first before I now start thinking of, okay, how are we going to market it later on or whatever. Okay, this person is talented, I don't mind being associated with this person, then we will now start from there. But to your question now, from my own point of view, it might not be your own point of view. I feel like it comes from two parts. There's one part which is the art itself. Now you just said now that that if you're a painter, you paint, you have that's what you want to create and things like that. So, but I also feel like the consumers have the right to say whether they like the painting or they don't like the painting. You understand? So that for that part, I feel like I always try anytime I hear all these things about either maybe the women problem. I know the other side of the women problem, but I still bring it back to the product. For me, I always first bring it back to the product because all of us here at some point we have had one big song that nothing stopped it. Like even whether there was cabal, whether there was this one, whether there was this, nothing stopped it. When your mayor case and things was, but nothing stopped it. And we didn't necessarily, I'm sure in the beginning we didn't necessarily need to spend that much money. How much did we spend on the Minato? We didn't spend the kind of budgets that we're spending now. That's what I'm saying. How much do we spend on Johnny? Thank you, that's what I'm saying. So sometimes the product just works. You understand? So apart from, so I feel like we're just going to have to do a lot better for the songs that works for the markets that we are in. You understand? I like, for instance, like I love Johnny Drill to death. Everybody knows that. But for some reason, the music that he's making, it's not general people's music. You understand? But I don't care. I like it. I will just keep going with that. So if the type of music that you want to make, if you feel like you want to make, like once upon a time, the only music we were listening to in Nigeria was maybe reggae music. At some point we moved to Juju and Fuji, and that's what we were listening to. And at some point we moved to Konto and stuff, and it just keeps growing like that. I'm sure there are people that could sing like Marakari and with Houston at that point, but for some reason it didn't pop. But that's not what was popular in this is. So how do we get to make songs that are pop songs? Because if you have, like as I was saying, if you have like when you had your mayor and those things, there's no show that I didn't jam you there. Sometimes you used to do 3-4 in a day. So did he? But if you say, and I'm sure that in that show there's some guys that you will collect more money than in that show. You understand? So sometimes it does play out that the song is dope. Like DJ now, when she had she was good. When she had Boyo or the Ramon, she was good for a lot of shows. We had the Robuchi, we were going for a lot of shows. But the moment that sometimes it's dry spell, if it's not there, it's not there. You understand? It's not necessarily the money per se. Like I hear you when you say about, I'm serious. It's not necessarily the marketing, the money per se for some songs. We did not even finish doing Godwin in the studio before it started popping. Or the Robuchi, it started popping from the freestyle. You understand? We just put it on the social media, it worked. You Maddie, you started popping already from TikTok without spending money. You understand? So sometimes the songs just go and they just work. So that's that for that. Then the other part now is in general, it's a Nigerian or maybe African men problem. They're too masculine. So like I go to Ara shows and I'll see some guys forming macho there. They don't want to be doing away. I'm like, this guy, you just waste your money. Come sing, Ogbeni sing. You understand? Or so they feel like if they sing a girl song, being vulnerable, singing the love songs and things. They feel like you lose their masculinity, or people start dragging them. Look at it. You come on Twitter on timeline, Ara start timeline, they'll be like, this one is easy to Ara Star. Easy to Ara Star. You understand? So that stereotype, that problem exists in general with the whole, from our forefathers. The men, they have that whole masculinity, masculine problem. So that one now affects the numbers that gets distributed to the women. In turn, it affects airplay because they will not ask, they will not request, they are not requesting for the songs as much. So it in turn affects, even in the club itself. If you dey for club, the DJ don't want to play the song with and the girl they say, it's all those
even with our shows. I remember when I went for Star Trek. It was the most intimidating thing because there were men in front. Like there's hardly women, you know. But when you perform abroad, you see girls, you know, screaming. But when you perform in Nigeria, hey, like you said, you have to channel your masculine energy, because when you look at the crowd, like it's like they don't allow the women to come for. Even sometimes I think girls are scared to go to these big festivals because of, you know, safety. But I mean, I think what we're saying is that we're not saying that we haven't had success. We've all had success, and we're thankful to God. But we're saying that the ratio is the gap is too wide. Not just even pay, like in terms of like. Yes, this lineup, if we were to do the same for male artists, you could have maybe 20. You know, if we have to count female artists, by the time we get to 8, 9, we're struggling with like, and that girl that sang.
We didn't know her.
Yeah, but then, you know, you can have male artists, like, it's a lot. Like, that's, I think we just need to balance the scale.
Well, I think I've gotten some good feedback from Don Jazzy's response, because, you know, make music.
We sure hope you enjoyed this video. For more entertaining video content such as behind the scenes of music videos and movies, music concerts, premieres, interviews, and exclusive gists, subscribe now to our YouTube channel Goldmynetv and be unleashed into a world of super excitement.